your girl Lulu here, and I am finally back with another video. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to study effectively for Med-Surg and to pass Med-Surg. So I want to start out with, if you are new to this channel, welcome, and I hope you subscribe and join the gang. But if you are a returning Richchiquetv, welcome back, babe. So what I did want to start with as well was be sure to check out my top exam tips study video. Listen, your girl was going through some things and I wasn't sticking to my regimen from last semester as far as reading my study tips. Literally, they're in my exam prep binder. They're here. Reading my exam study tips before I take an exam. Listen, my mind was gone. I caught the mistakes. While I was sitting down testing, I was like, oh my God. And then boom, I answered the complex questions and the simple ones. If I would have applied the tips, I would have gotten higher. So I did get an 80 on that first Med-Surg exam, but on my other Med-Surg exam, because I'm currently taking 2 Med-Surg classes at one time, your girl got a 95. Okay then. So let's get into it. So I hope you guys have your exam prep binders, because you should have this. If you've been watching my TikTok videos, you should have your exam prep binder and then your mega nursing binder. So the mega nursing binder will be the binder that will have all your study material from the beginning of the semester to the end, so that way you have a master key for your final. But this is what you use to study for each course during the time frame that you're preparing for an exam. So currently in one of my classes, we are working on infection. So I have my outlines for each. And don't forget to watch my outline video if you haven't watched it already. And I just have them sectioned off with some nice colorful paper. So each section is just sectioned off with colorful paper. So what I like to do is go ahead and organize myself. I bring those outlines to class. I do read before class. Please do not let the first time that you're being introduced to some information in class be the first time that you're actually introduced to the information. Be sure to go in with the open mind, be able to engage, be able to make sure you can ask any questions that you need, because think about this. If you have questions as the teacher is going and introducing this new concept, you're going to be trying to take in the knowledge and then figure it out all in that one time frame. So that means you're not paying attention. You're not giving your 100% attention. And if you be on your phone texting Ray and doodle while you in class, you can go ahead and just cut this video off, because you really have to pay attention. Our partners, our family members, they need to know while we're in class, hey, I need to be paying attention because I need to get this degree, baby. Because if you're not studying to become a nurse and maintain your license, my YouTube videos may not be for you. I don't want to just pass the NCLEX. I do not want to be #1 in my class. That's not my goal. I want to be a nurse who knows her stuff, and a nurse who's gonna keep her license once she gets this license that she worked so hard for. So I also have the Med-Surg notebook, and I have the farm one too that I'll be showing in when I make the farm video. But this Med-Surg notebook that I also go ahead and write down anything that I need to know pertaining to, I hope that focus, pertaining to the disease processes we're going over. So currently we're going over infection, cellulitis, influenza, pneumonia, tuberculosis, and then in my Med-Surg 2 class, GERD, hepatitis, celiac disease, lactase deficiency, and short bowel syndrome. So I have all of those outlines done, so when we go to class, I will have already read, I already have that down, so I can take this anywhere I go and study. Or I can use my outline, which that's what I like to use when I'm in clinical, because it's all about maximizing your study time. Because for the Med-Surg 2 exam, I literally only studied the day before. I had clinical, got out of there about 3, and then came home and I really studied. So and I peaked a little during clinical, but I really studied, and that's when I got my 95. Applied my top exam study tips and got my 95. But the way I study is I want to know, excuse me, why something is occurring in the body. You have to want to know why a person is experiencing an infection. You want to know the background. You want to know what happens in the body. What are the processes? And that's why I say, if you're in clinical, please use that time and maximize it. Try to learn your best. I love my clinical instructor because he has us break down everything. Like, he really wants to know, okay, well, why is the WC count elevated? Or why is this elevated? Or why is this decreased? What is the patient's history? And that's those key things you need to know to maintain your license, but also to pass your test. You have to know that background information. So you want to know what the risk factors are so you can look out for it. You want to know what the clinical manifestations are. You want to know the drug-to-drug interactions so that you're not mixing something that doesn't belong. Because if the doctor doesn't catch it, if the pharmacist doesn't catch it, you can catch it and save this patient's life. So you want to know, okay, why? Like, what is like, you need to know the why. You have to ask yourself why, and you have to literally break everything down. When I'm going through my outline, if I don't know a word, I literally will write. I will go look it up and I will write what that word is, because sometimes your teacher could change up the way a word is, and I got caught up on my pharm test like that because I was looking for like the thing for epinephrine, the mechanism of action for epinephrine. And she didn't say, she put bronchodilation on one of the answers, and that's the one I chose. She said bronchodilation and increased heart rate. And I got caught up in bronchodilation, and I'm like, okay, well, epi works over everything, so maybe it could decrease the heart rate, sorry. No, increase. Decrease. It said decrease, because epi increases. But the other one said, ease of breath and increase heart rate. That's what epi does. So you have to know those things to be able to sit there and process it, because it's not going to be what is infection or what lab is showing. No, it's going to give you a whole scenario. So you need to be able to dig deep into that and really be able to pull your knowledge to answer the questions. Also, with my med-surg, I believe it's the one class, I really go through my skills and I read the skills and I take notes. You cannot just slide your way through and expect to pass the test and you're not putting in the 100% effort. You really have to take notes, and I really try to jot down things that I may not be able to keep in my mind, or things that's just like a little lengthy, and it's like, okay, well, let me, jot this down so I can go back later, because I know I'm not gonna get back on ATI unless I have to go back over that skill. So let me just write it down in my notebook so I can have it handy. So when I was going back in the notebook to figure out a question, I said, you know what, let me go back and read over this information. And even when I'm doing the post test, if I get a question wrong, I'm gonna write down the correct answer and why it's the correct answer so that I can understand. Read through your rationale so you can understand, even for the correct answer, you can understand why. And that'll give it in simpler terms when you're reading it on ATI or you're doing it on your Nurse Think or HESI. It'll give it to you in a simpler form so that way you can understand it. And my teacher pulled questions from out of ATI and put them on the exam, and I was able to pass those questions because I referenced the information, and I went back and I looked over it, and guess what, I passed it. So even with my other med-surg class, I also take notes. So if it's notes that I see like in the book or anything that I think is really important, I love to write it down and keep that repetition going, because it takes repetition to learn something. Also, looking up videos online like Registered Nurse RN and Simple Nursing. I love Simple Nursing. just if you need that extra boost to get it to stick. Like there's some things from simple nursing that I have never forgotten because it just stuck. I love mnemonics and it stuck. You have to find what works for you. So also with Med-Surg, I read my ATI book. You cannot shortchange yourself on learning this information. So I do read through my ATI book. I highlight, and I'm gonna show you guys an example. So this is the HIV and AIDS concept. I literally go through and I highlight pertinent information that I need to know. And because NCLEX is a big safety test, so basically I'm gonna make sure I understand the nurse's role. Make sure you understand what your class is aiming for as well. So one of my Med-Surg classes, I'm gonna learn skills and I'm gonna learn all of this information about the body, but the other class is more so how to be a safe nurse, how to properly handle things, and you have to understand that and know that. But you really have to put in the work. Don't just try to obtain your license and then you end up losing it over something so silly, something that you could have really took your time on. You have to want it. You have to want it badly. Like go through and read, practice the questions in the back, and then if you have questions, bring them up to your teacher. Don't sit there and lollygag and then wait and expect to pass an exam. Also, try to look at that top exam study tip video before you take a test, because you need to know. Stay away. I even said it. Stay away from absolutes. And guess who put on the test that vaccines are 100% preventable? But my mind was gone. I had so much going on. But it's just like those little small things, and you don't want that to be a small thing in the real world that takes your license away. So definitely don't be afraid to put in the work. Like I literally still have time to watch New Amsterdam. I'm messed up about New Amsterdam, and I still have time to watch New Amsterdam. I still have time to go to the gym. I still have time to do what I want to do. If I want to go sit and eat me some chicken wings, I still have time to do that. I go home and I lash, and that was me taking that test. I had 3 tests that week, and I got a 80, a 85, and no, I'm sorry, a 80, a 83.5, and a 90. All in 1 week, coming back from me lashing and just doing all of this. And so it's doable. If I can do it, you can do it. But you have to be organized. Really, really, really get organized. I'm gonna put the link in the bio to this book, because this really gives you that extra, like, okay, here, give me your meat and potatoes. Give me what the teacher is looking for, what the NCLEX is gonna look for. So, and then I love to be colorful. So be colorful. If that's what you like, be colorful. Do what makes the information stick for you. But also try not to just study for your exam, because even on the exam, I got questions right that information carried over from the previous semester. So because that information stuck with me and I learned that information to retain it and to keep it for a lifetime, I was able to pass those questions. Literally, if you've seen the questions I missed, I could punch myself in the head, because it was literally like the most simplest questions. Like if I would have just read the question twice, read my answers thoroughly, and I would have scored higher. But also don't get caught up in, okay, hey, I need a 90 every exam, I need an A every, no, because it's a mix. Even if you get A's and B's on tests, you can still pass. I even got a C on a test last semester. I still came out of the class with an A. So don't get so caught up on that, but get caught up on really, really learning that information. Because I didn't get upset, thank God. But if I were to get upset, it would be because I thought I really, really had the information down pat. It wouldn't be, oh, because I need to get the highest grade. No, it's because I I wish I would have had I thought I had the information down pat. So obviously I didn't do something. So now I'm mad at myself because what did I do? Did I watch a little too much TV, or like what was it? So just make sure you organize yourself and you really do what works for you and to help you. But really, really learn how to look for the specific things of the patho, the clinical manifestation, your risk factors, your complications, the lab and diagnostics, your nursing interventions, your treatments, your patient education. If you don't know how to organize yourself, get the book. Like, get the book, convert the PowerPoints to outlines, you know, use your highlighters, pay attention in class, please pay attention, because I'm pretty sure they give you guys answers too to some of the things that's going to be on the test. So really make sure you're paying attention and that you're reading ahead of time, so that you can just be getting, okay, confirmation that, okay, this is how I understood it, or this I understood it incorrectly. So let me ask some questions. Let me bring up some questions, and don't be afraid to ask questions. I know people think, oh, she asking dumb questions. She do, okay, let it be done to you, but I need to know the knowledge for myself. So just give yourself that extra push and give yourself that pat on the back and do what you need to do for you to be successful. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, feel free to comment down below. And if you guys have other videos you want to see from me, feel free to comment down below those videos you want to see. I am going to be getting out the how I study for pharm, and I'm going to be getting out the what's in my clinical bag, and I'm going to get out how I balance work, school, business, and life. So stay tuned for those. I hope you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and that is all for today. Love you, babes. Good luck. We got this. Mwah.